Corporate giants, millions on the line, and a scheme that shook the business world. What are the biggest heists in business history? And who's really behind them? In the corporate world, the most devastating heists are often the ones that don't involve physical violence or stolen goods, but the theft of billions through fraudulent schemes and deceptive practices. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for notifications. One of the most infamous examples of this occurred in the late 1990s, when a highly respected CEO orchestrated one of the largest accounting frauds in history. The company, once a titan in its industry, had been trading at record-high stock prices and was hailed as a symbol of corporate success. But behind the polished exterior, a scandal was brewing. The CEO, in a bid to meet the demands of Wall Street and maintain the company's soaring stock value, had been inflating financial statements, hiding debt, and manipulating earnings reports. What followed was an elaborate scheme to mislead investors, auditors, and regulators, all while profiting off the artificially inflated stock. For years, the company appeared to be thriving, all the while siphoning off millions in illicit gains. By the time the crime was uncovered, billions of dollars had been lost, and the company's stock had collapsed. It wasn't just about the stolen money. It was the betrayal of trust that shook investors, employees, and the public alike. This was the corporate world's version of a heist, and it left behind a trail of ruined lives and devastated shareholders. The financial fallout from these corporate crimes was catastrophic. The collapse of the company wasn't just a matter of lost profits. It was a crash that reverberated across the entire market. Investors, many of whom had trusted the company with their savings, watched as their portfolios crumbled. Employees, who had believed in the company's future, were left without jobs as the company filed for bankruptcy. But the ripple effects went much further. The scandal triggered a series of investigations and lawsuits, with multiple executives facing criminal charges for fraud, conspiracy, and embezzlement. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for notifications. The company's board of directors, once revered as a powerhouse of corporate leadership, was dismantled as they too faced legal consequences for failing to notice the red flags. The aftermath also resulted in widespread reforms in corporate governance and accounting practices. The Sarbanes-Oxley Act, passed in 2002, aimed to prevent similar scandals by enforcing stricter regulations and holding executives accountable. While these changes helped restore some measure of faith in corporate America, the damage had already been done. The public's trust in the business world had been shattered, and it would take years to rebuild. But this wasn't an isolated case. Over the years, other corporate crimes, from insider trading to embezzlement, continued to make headlines. These high-profile crimes served as a reminder that the world of business, much like any other arena, is not immune to corruption and greed. As investigations unfolded, the question on everyone's mind was, who was responsible for these massive corporate heists? While the executives were undoubtedly the ones who orchestrated the fraud, the truth was far murkier. How could such blatant deceit go unnoticed for so long? The truth was that many within the company, employees, auditors, and even investors, turned a blind eye to the warning signs. Whether driven by greed, fear, or sheer negligence, the system had failed at every level. In some cases, lower-level employees had raised alarms about the company's practices, only to be ignored or silenced by the powerful figures at the top. Moreover, outside auditors, responsible for verifying the company's financials, were often complicit in turning a blind eye, allowing the deception to continue. The very systems that were supposed to protect investors and maintain transparency were, in many cases, part of the problem. In some instances, The corporate world had become a place where profit took precedence over ethics, and the financial safeguards that were meant to ensure fairness were instead used to facilitate the heist. The dark truth was that the heist wasn't just the work of a few rogue individuals. It was a systemic issue that required deep-rooted changes in how the business world operates. The crime was a reflection of an industry that had allowed greed to overshadow integrity and where power could easily be used to manipulate the truth. Corporate crimes change industries forever. What's your take? Comment below and make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.